stand in support of LGBTQ. And if you don't accept people, then shame on you. Cause if you give me that bullshit that the Bible says it's wrong, then your epistemology has been all along. It's fucking 2023, how are we this up? Let's stop the bigotry and we will see that love is love. So whether you're gay, bi, trans, pan, a, non-binary, or intersex, be who you are cause you're a star and fuck the rest.
Okay. Um, First of all, I wish that made me want to die a little bit less. But second of all, I'm going to attempt to actually engage this person and answer one of his questions, which was how did we get this effed? And it's so funny because those of us who are not like Gen Z, like just waking up to the world, know that there was a time where we weren't this effed. There was a time where all rights had been achieved for the LGBT community. There was a bastion of people that, of course, would never tolerate, accept, or love us, which is more than okay, by the way. There are plenty of things and groups and beliefs that I dislike, don't care to have around me in my life. That was always supposed to just be okay. We're always supposed to coexist. But unfortunately, that just wasn't enough for the community, right? And unfortunately, there's a huge industry around activism for the community that wasn't going to die simply because we had gay marriage or simply because we had employment anti-discrimination laws, or simply because Laverne Cox was now on TV and people were learning what trans was. None of that stopped that industry from still having to pump out responses to different issues, push for different legislation, invent new insane talking points, and keep it going. That is the downfall. So I don't
I
know.
also just don't understand why alphabet TikTok has to be so cringe.
I don't like that, yeah, and I don't like that it's always so childlike. Like I don't like this sort of like a proximity it has towards like kid TikTok. Like I'm gonna sing a little cutesy song, and I'm gonna, I see all these like TikTokers, these non-binary TikTokers, and they talk like children. They're like, that one who's like, "I'm glad you asked." It's like
Yes.
that motherfucker. It's like, why are they all so emotionally, intellectually, and mentally stunted? What's going on? And how could you not hate these people? If I'm being honest, how could you not hate
It
them?
just
I don't.
sucks because it's like what we just showed you is not how normal gay people act. But people see that
No.
on Libs of TikTok or whatever, and they mistakenly think that's what we're like. And so one of my big issues with the alphabet people on TikTok is just how much their stuff blows up, and then they're presenting this false image. Most LGBT people are actually pretty normal, but they're not, and then they make us all look like that.
Exactly. And the problem is, so realistically, it is such a small, you know, population of people that fall under LGB or T, right? But and people have this sort of like dismissal of the idea that TikTok videos could be something negative for us, and like it's just TikTok, why are you taking it so seriously? And it's like, I'm sorry, when a certain population makes up, like if we're talking trans specifically, like 0.0001% of the population, but the hashtag trans has tens of billions of views on the world's largest social media platform, that's an issue, and it's not something to just be waved away like, well, why are you taking it seriously? Well, because that becomes our representation. When the corporate press ignores plenty of normal, well-adjusted, post-transition, like productive members of society they could push out, and they push out Dylan Mulvaney, who has been trans for a year, they're doing harm, right? So it's like, I agree with leftists in the sense that representation does matter. So how about you guys stop representing us like shit?
Yeah,
I
and
agree
that's
with you
and
guys. Representation matters. So get it together.
well, and they like ban you from TikTok, of course. And I think
Right.
somebody like you presents a face of like, oh, trans people can be just like me. They can be sensible, they can have American values, they can be patriots, and yet they don't want people to see that. They want them to see Dylan Mulvaney or the Fuzzy Mall or whatever that one. I'm glad you asked. Maybe I'll supercut
I
that
hate it.
into the edit,
Yeah.
but
But it
um,
sucks, and all we can do is keep fighting. And like, I'm at a point right now, I've kind of been going through a bit of a shift in how I even care to approach these conversations. I really only care to have conversations and do interviews and do podcasts right now with people who I feel like A, are not morons, because I spent too many years going on shows where the hosts are just morons, and B, I'm really only interested in conversing with people who the conversation is going to either lead to a solution of a problem, the problems we have, or at least like an attempt to get there, right? Because we're at a fever pitch here, right? I don't want to see the world go backwards and start seeing actual hate crimes happening on the street towards people like you or me. I don't want to, contribute to the fact that, I don't know if you feel this lately, Brad, but like there's just like a general sort of like anxiety and toxicity in the air. And like when you're out in the real world, because I know you're not just like some chronically online perpetual like internet person, you're a real person. I'm sure you're out in the world. Do you ever get like anxiety about being grouped in with these people in people's minds? Because I do.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think the only solace is that a lot of people still aren't on TikTok or Twitter, and so they don't see
Yeah.
this. But I do absolutely, especially where I am out in West Michigan now. There's a lot of like nice older Christian folks who just don't they have very big misconceptions about what it means to be gay,
Yeah.
or especially what it means to be transgender. But I'm also like not excited for just to watch people exploit Pride Month for their own political agenda for the next month. So and just that the cringe of it. Like watch this video from Cory Booker, the senator.
Love wins. Happy Pride Month.
See, I mean, it's easy to say, what's wrong with a rainbow colored street and what's wrong with a politician saying something that he believes, is nice and positive towards a group of people he believes to be marginalized. But there's something to be said about I've been thinking about this a lot. There's something to be said about the extreme over-representation that we're experiencing, in the sense of there is no reason for every politician to be doing this shit. There is no reason for every TV show to have trans characters, gay characters. There's no reason to have it just shoved down people's mouths. And I think what we're seeing is like, people can be mad about people like you and I having conversations and attempting to unpack what's going on in a way they're not familiar with, in terms of like a gay man or a trans woman who's not a leftist. People don't like that, obviously. However, is there really an argument to be made that they're doing it the right way when LGBT acceptance is on the decline? You can believe that people like me and people like you are not representing our community in the right way, and you can disagree with our politics, but I will never accept that what leftist activists and Democrat politicians are doing is working, because the data simply doesn't show that to be true.
It's not. People are sick of the cringe and how disingenuous it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that meme of like a plane dropping bombs, and then it's like under Republicans, and then under Democrats, it's the same one, but has a rainbow flag next to the Raytheon symbol. And it's
Right.
just, it's just funny because it's just, I mean, the Cory Booker one, look, I don't even hate Cory Booker. He's fine, whatever. But it just is so cringe. And I've been watching today, it's the first, as all the politicians release pride statements. And they all say the same thing and they all hit the same buzzwords. They've all changed the acronym now, too. So it's starting to include it's not LGBT, it's not LGBTQ, it's not LGBTQ plus. I'm starting to see LGBTQIA2S plus. And you said that sounds like a Wi-Fi password.
It does. And it's so ridiculous. And again, this is just the perfect example of the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? I actually do believe that a large portion of people on the left feel within themselves that they are helping. I genuinely do not attribute malice to most of them. Some of them, you can tell, they don't really see us as humans. They see it, we're just another political football. We're another thing they can weaponize. A lot of them, I think, really do care. So to those people, I have to say, and I'll continue saying, the best possible thing for you to do is shut the up. I genuinely think the best possible thing for us would be even just 1 year where we take Pride Month off. Just 1 year where we're just like, you know what? Things are a little hot right now. Let's reconvene in a year.
Just
Right.
make stuff way less in your face and just stop
Yeah.
constantly throwing it down everyone's throat, because even people who don't care, if you just force something on them so much and are so pushy with it, they're not going to like that. And I get that.